I try to say is that I try to say that the medical result, that result looks in several laboratories that
بالنسبه للاغوش يقولوا لها لاغوش دائما تكون هي اللي نبدا بها دائما.
What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video, we're going to be going over the most updated facts about the very controversial case happening right now at the Paris Olympics between two fighters who have tested XY male chromosome but competing against women. Guys, before I continue, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been with me since day one. And if you could just please hit the notification button. If you like the content I create, that'll allow me to pop up in your algorithm every time I create something new. All right, guys, let's get into this. I also want to state clearly that I do not have a political horse in this race, meaning I have not been keeping up to date with this case because I am either A, against a side, or B, with a side. My side is strictly my passion in my favorite sport, boxing. I did not plan to get involved with documenting this case when it first broke. But as I started to see the controversy and how nobody was keeping people up to date factually on either side about this case, about boxing, about Paris, then I felt obligated. If you watch all the videos I've done about Lee and Imam Khalif, the one thing you can't say is how I've handled this case. I've done my best to be unbiased and strictly report on the facts without giving you guys any emotional, misconstrued, or biased response. Okay, that being said, you now know my intentions. It's always been about boxing and the fairness of the sport and never been politically from my end. All right, this video, I'm going to break down the facts of the case going into the weekend because Imam Khalif has been successful in her Olympic quest. She will be fighting for the gold medal this weekend in Paris. I do want to inform everybody, whatever side of the story you're on, I'm going to talk about the facts. I should also mention the IBA stands for the International Boxing Association. I have researched their website, and this link, the whole story, I'm going to leave it linked in the description of this video, and you're going to find the timeline dating all the way back to 2018. The IBA clarifies the facts. The letter to the I.O.C. regarding two ineligible boxers was sent out and acknowledged. The reason why this is relevant to the case is that the I.O.C. in recent days have said that this controversy has come out of nowhere, and the IBA is sending and showing receipts. Once again, the link to the receipts are in the description below. Here is that timeline. The International Boxing Association has clarified the facts that led to the disqualification of two boxers, Imam Khalif of Algeria and Lin Yuting of Chinese Taipei. Imam Khalif has been participating in the IBA competition since 2018, and Lin Yuting has competed since 2017. Current IBA management, having been in leadership since December 2020, has been on the top of the problem from the very first IBA Women's World Boxing Championships they conducted in 2022. IBA cannot comment on the previous iterations and lack of leadership actions in this regard. Following many complaints from coaches, boxers agreed to gender testing. Blood sample collection was made on May 17, 2022. System Tip Laboratory from Istanbul, license number 194MRK, issued its report on May 24, 2022, after the competition ended. The laboratory detected results that didn't match the eligibility criteria for IBA women's events. Khalif won the silver medal in the 63 kg category. Lin won the gold medal in the 57 kg category. One test for each athlete was not enough to make a decision with respective consequences in the case that one test mistake is possible. The lawyers advised to monitor this situation and to contact the I.O.C. The IBA informed the I.O.C. representatives about these exact tests, but no reaction followed from the I.O.C. side. The situation was completely new to boxing, and the IBA, following numerous consultations, decided to conduct a second testing before disqualifying the boxers. So this is them tracking that first test, even though both boxers tested male. They didn't want to just go off of one test. So now this is where they are. They do a second test. However, the second testing could only be conducted in a neutral country and within the IBA competition period. At the next IBA Women's World Boxing Championships in 2023 in New Delhi, Khalif and Lynn were tested again, following their consent again before their fights. Blood sample collection was made on March 17, 2023. Dr. Lal Path Labs from New Delhi issued its report on March 23, 2023. The findings were absolutely identical to the first test results. On March 24, 2023, the IBA Secretary General and CEO at the time, George Yerlampis, informed both Khalif and Lynn about their exclusion from the championships for not meeting the eligibility gender criteria. The athletes received a copy of their testing and were informed about the possibility of appealing to the CAS within 21 days. Khalif and Lynn were informed accordingly about the decision and acknowledged it by signing the paperwork. The test details were attached to the letter. Guys, this letter, their signatures, is attached to the link in the description below, straight from the IBA, International Boxing Association Sports website. On March 26, 2023, the IBA Board of Directors, by a majority vote, decided to ratify the decision taken by the IBA Secretary General and CEO on behalf of the IBA to disqualify Aman Khalif and Lin Yu-Ting from the IBA's Women's World Boxing Championships in 2023. These tests affect the private life of the person concerned and constitute medical information protected as personal data. We are not allowed to publish these documents without the agreement of the person concerned. However, both the Aman Khalif and Lin Yu-Ting received a copy of these tests, and they never disputed it. Let me repeat that. Both fighters received a copy of their positive male chromosome tests, failed sex gender tests. Both had the opportunity to dispute it, and both declined to dispute it. It makes you wonder, if you were getting negative testing regarding your gender, false positives, wouldn't you dispute that? And I'll leave that there. I continue. They know these tests exist and that they are not fake. Both athletes were provided with the right to appeal against the board's decision to the CAS. Lin Yu-Ting did not appeal against the decision to declare her ineligibility, and it became a legal binding. On May 12, 2023, the IBA amended its technical and competition rules. After internal discussion, it was decided by the board of directors that IBA competitions will be conducted only between male athletes and between female athletes. Participation of DSD athletes, differences of sexual development in boxing competitions were found dangerous for health and security of the boxers. So guys, this DSD, differences of sexual development, this has been a hotbed issue over the last few days by the I.O.C, referencing that it was never spoken about. On record, dating back to May 12th, 2023, the I.O.C was made aware of the DSD, differences of sexual development between both fighters. Amendments made by the board to the T&C rules. And guys, here are the amendments made on May 12th, 2023 that both the I.O.C and the IBA were aware of in male-to-male boxing and female-to-female boxing. Once again, this is listed in the link I've attached. Definition of men, male, boy equal individual with chromosome XY. Clear. Definition of women, female, girl equal individual with chromosome XX. Clear. Rule 4.2, eligible on gender. 4.21, boxers will compete against boxers of the same gender, meaning women versus women and men versus men, as per the definitions of these rules. 4.22, to determine the gender, the boxers can be submitted to a random or targeted gender test, which will be conducted by the IBA in cooperation with the selected laboratory personnel. This rule, guys, 4.22, is very important because the I.O.C, one of the reasons for removing the IBA's legislation is because their only checks and balances regarding gender is what is on the athlete's passport. I continue. Rule 4.23, in the case of adverse result, the boxer will be immediately notified by the IBA. Rule 4.24, in case of adverse result, the boxer will be disqualified from such competition with immediate effect and will be prevented from competing in further IBA-owned and sanctioned competitions of that gender. For this purpose, IBA will share such information with the relevant internal bodies respecting its confidentiality. I repeat, that rule states, if fighters do test positive for genders not to their own in their sport, the IBA will make aware of the internal bodies, but it will be in confidentiality, once again stating and refuting the fact that the I.O.C. was not aware, in which they were so dating back May 2023. On April 14, 2023, Aman Khalif appealed to the CAS against IBA, challenging the decision to disqualify her from competitions. The IBA paid its share of procedural costs, which demonstrates the good faith of the IBA. Not many international federations agree to pay their share of costs in CAC proceedings. On July 27, 2023, the CAS issued the termination order and terminated the proceedings because the appellant, Aman Khalif, did not pay the costs of the proceedings. After the termination of the proceedings before the CAS, the IBA and Aman Khalif were in contact to resolve the situation. In particular, the athlete provided to IBA a number of medical documents, which were examined by the IBA Medical Committee. On March 23, 2023, the IBA Medical Committee issued its report about the eligibility of Khalif. On April 12, 2023, the IBA informed Khalif about the conclusions made by the IBA Medical Committee and confirmed again that she is not eligible to participate in the IBA women's competition. Therefore, her profile in elite women light welterweight was removed from the IBA database. She did not appeal against this decision. The IBA does not want to comment private life of the person. For IBA, it is not a matter how Aman Khalif and Lin Yuting identify themselves and what is written in their passport. The IBA's main concern is that their hormonal imbalance affords them a distinct advantage over their female counterparts within their respective weight categories. Let me repeat that. The tests have showcased the IBA's main concern is that both fighters' hormonal imbalance affords them a distinct advantage over their female counterparts within their respective weight categories. It can be dangerous for other female boxers that we have already seen during the Olympic Games to compete against them. Therefore, she is not eligible to participate in the IBA competitions. Only a few more, guys. It's a bit long. I apologize, but I feel these facts are very important to what's happening right now. Not many people are talking about them. And like I said, this is linked in the description below. On June 5th, 2023, the IBA sent an official correspondence to the I.O.C. regarding the case. That was over a year ago. On June 16th, 2023, the I.O.C. sports director, Kit McConnell, sent the acknowledgement email. So this is evidence they were aware of these testings. On July 31st, 2024, this was only a week ago, Italian Boxing Federation office sent an email inquiry to the IBA Sport Department asking about the facts that led to Khalif's disqualification on the eve of the bout against their boxer, Angelo Carini, at the Paris 2024 Games. Guys, I did a whole separate video about the Carini incident. This was the Italian boxer against Khalif, who after 46 seconds conceded. The IBA issued the first statement about the Khalif-Lin cases following multiple media requests on July 31st, 2024. On August 1st, 2024, Carini abandoned the fight at 66 kgs against Khalif at the Paris Olympic Games after 46 seconds. The IBA condemned the I.O.C.'s eligibility rules that allowed disqualified boxers to participate in the games following that the I.O.C. was warned about their ineligibility. The I.O.C. was well aware of this, guys. The failed tests, the multiple years of non-fighting back by both Khalif and Yin, and they still allow both fighters with failed sex gender tests to compete against women. A few more. The I.O.C. claimed at the press briefing that the organization has never been informed about the case, which is a lie. Very important. The I.O.C., guys, claims they never knew. Meaning the paper trail that I'm reading to you that is attached to this video shows proof, evidence, there's links that the I.O.C. knew, and they sent an email acknowledging that they knew over a year ago. The last 2 points, and I'll leave you with this. The IBA was forced to give a press conference on August 5th, 2024 in Paris to address the situation in detail. The IBA issued a statement with a list of facts and attached documents following the press conference to conclude the issue. Guys, the gold medal game is this weekend. Both fighters will be fighting for a gold. This is still an ongoing case. From my end, I'm still going to report on this, and hopefully you've left this video with more facts to discuss because this is a hotbed issue. Everyone who's still listening at this point, I say thank you.
I'm trying to say that the medical result, that result looks and say the laboratories that this boxer is playing. Okay?